you log in, you get a menu. That menu is determined based on whether you're an end user or a developer. This one happens to be an end user menu. There's some additional options on a developer screen because he has a need for things like sales history and more technical information that's available to developers but not necessarily to end users. It can be, but you would have to contact support and have them turn it on for you. And file format specs and things like that we've decided to keep under a developer's category instead of a reseller, or instead of an end user status. But all that information is available through tech support. So there are 3 additional items on a developer's menu that are on this one. But we're going to go over the items that everybody gets. Obviously, a lot of you have already used the download section of this, and it simply shows your available licenses. And you can sort these by clicking on the title area of the listing. So if you click by license number, it's going to sort it by license number. If you click on the end user, it's going to sort it by end user. And when we bring this up for you large developers who have lots of licenses, so like Bud especially, we give you the entire list. We don't say, okay, we're gonna pop out 50 licenses and then you have a page down. They're all there, all 160 of them. And it's really, really quick. And you can search on this web page just like you would search on any web page to find somebody so that you can find a particular customer rapidly. Once you determine which license you want, you have a couple of options. You have the option of looking at the details. And at that point, it shows you who it's licensed to, what the end user name is, and down below, it's all the product information, which you've seen all this, I'm sure. Everybody has.
Yep, if you download, this is just another way to get to the download.
It shows you the status of the USP, if you have one, the last time that it was billed, when it renews, and it even shows you the detailed history of the USP so that you can keep track of how many you've been billed. We've also added that to the front screen now. If it shows up in the USP column, and it tells you the last number that you were billed in the cycle. And you can, at that point, you can look at the features on a particular license on the details screen as well. Anyway. Down. And down here on each product, there's a features button. And if you click on the features button, it tells you what's enabled on that particular product. In this case, TCP is enabled, MySQL is enabled, and GI messaging is enabled. When you have web, it's going to say web enabled, along with all these other options. So this is how you can determine what the status is of your product.
But there's no longer an added charge for ODBC if you buy the filePro developer.
Correct, it's always enabled.
It's always enabled. It used to be that you had to pay extra to get the ODBC and it would be turned on, but
Right.
now it comes free.
Yeah.
And it is all license controlled, so a new feature, you're not reinstalling software. You're downloading the license.
This is where you enter in your license information, your hard drive information, and download your installs and your manuals and the GI client. Everything is done from this page. And if we go back, we also have a quote button.
And I don't have anything old to quote.
That's all right. We're going to just go to the quote page. We don't have to do one.
Bill, you should point out the downloads, there's a 64-bit and 32-bit option.
All right. When you download, if the product is available in both 32 and 64, then you get the option to select. When you come back to it and re-download the next time, it should read from the file what you downloaded the last time, so it defaults to the one that you already downloaded.
If you want to log in with my number and see some
5.8, I can go in there, and let's say, this customer doesn't need 5 developers, only need 2 now. Somebody retired, I can change the numbers, and he'll do an online quote.
If Ernie, because Ernie's already at the top level of what we're selling, if he was to add anything in, it would assume that he wants more sessions. So it's going to give you new pricing instead of upgrade pricing.
Can you tell me on the 32 versus 64-bit, 32-bit seems to have stopped working on like server 2008 after a certain build. Are you aware of that?
Yeah, old libraries.
What is it?
You got old libraries in 2008.
There was a library problem where they didn't automatically upgrade some libraries that should have been, but you can get it.
You can get it.
Yeah, they're in a pack.
You have to, it's a
I think Logan, do you remember what that is?
It's usually just the Microsoft Redis pack. It just depends.
Much of, I'm sorry.
The Microsoft Redis reviewable pack, you usually just find all their websites.
Like the C++?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
It's the RDP pack.
When they terminated support, they terminated updates on their libraries.
By the way, if you're doing a remote desktop, it doesn't matter if your PCs are 32-bit.
Correct.
Because everything can be 64-bit on the server.
Good point.
Do you have a guide on there for installing filePro 64-bit on Linux?
Sure. We have resources for every
It's on there.
install. You don't have to log in for that.
Yeah, that's over under support. The support tab, go there. And resources. And here's all your available options, and you have all the different platforms, and the Nix install will tell you the ins and outs. What we do in the installer now is we'll actually pop up a screen with a list of all the libraries, and it shows you which ones are missing.
Okay.
We don't necessarily tell you how to get those because
Every Linux is different, as we all know.
Right, okay.
All right, the next one is product prices. This basically is the same thing as if you went to products and hit price list. If you are logged in, the quote button from this screen does not work because you're logged in and you're a developer and you're usually working with the license that you are. So if you need a new quote, don't log in. Go to products, prices, and get your quote from there. You know normally what your discount is. If you don't know what your discount is, log back in and you go to your reseller discount button and it'll tell you what your reseller discount is. Wish list items is something that we wish people would use. That's our wish.
I'll enter that.
Some people do, some people don't, okay? But as you can see, you can list new items, and when you list new items, it's going to bring up everything that you have not rated. Okay, in this particular case, there's 3 new items that have been entered in the system, and Ernie hasn't decided whether he wants them or doesn't want them. How important are they? So he's going to decide that on the first one right now. He's going to go to vote. And at that point, you have a selection list, and you determine which one you want to vote.
I need it today because it's out in 6.0.
This one hasn't been updated yet, but we are trying to keep this list. I'll show you that in a minute. And then you just simply submit your ranking. At that point, if you go back, wish list menu, and reload new items only, that one should be gone. Well, it's not gone because it's still a new item, but at least it's ranked.
Give a separate
Yeah,
vote
sort of.
for ones I haven't voted on.
Correct. It's
Except for
sorted
the
by,
ones,
it's sorted
yeah.
by rank, so
Yeah.
obviously zero is first.
Then you can go back again to the wish list, and you can do other things. You can list only the items that you've not voted on. You can list completed items only. You can
Which may or may not be up.
just list items that you entered. so you don't have to see everybody else's. The one thing that you can't do at this point, well, you could list all, okay? Now, if you list all, you're gonna maybe wait a bit because the list is quite long. But you're gonna be able to search that list for a particular keyword in the short description, so that maybe you can find somebody else has entered the same wish list item before you enter a new one. But if you need to enter a new one, you just simply add a new one, and at that point, it's in the system, and we know about it. And it's a great way to feed us information, because when we get to the end of a USP cycle, we go to this wish list, we print it off by priority because it's been voted on by you guys, and at that point, we start addressing and saying, oh, feasible, non-feasible, maybe feasible, and we start sorting this list and coming up with a way to address the items that you, as developers and end users, have requested. So this is how you get information to us in an organized fashion. You can keep track of your own item. Gee, did I ever add that to the wish list? You can go and look at your items and see that you did.
You mentioned the cycle, that's a 3-year thing, right?
That's the USP cycle, yeah.
Okay, so if we're in year 1 and we put something on the wish list, is it not even be considered for 2 more years?
Oh, no, it's considered at the end of every cycle. Which means, well, yeah.
Is it a cycle 3 years?
No, it's cycled 1 year on a USP. It's 3 years on a major release.
Oh, okay.
But
So
it's
every year?
Every year.
Okay.
At least every year, if not more
We're not calling
frequently.
them cycles, we'll call them years, okay.
Well,
Well, a cycle can be 9 months, or a cycle could be
Yeah.
15 months.
Okay.
We don't know
we could put out
what
a
the development
6.0,
cycle
though,
really
2
is.
and 6 days months. That's what we
You're
need as
talking
a
about
cycle.
If we were to
Minor
say,
release?
if we were to say the cycle was a
Okay.
year, then we better have a product out at the end of a year, or we're,
No, fair enough. So every minor release.
The catch is
Every minor
if you're not on USP, then
You're waiting
then
for the
then you're gonna have
official.
to wait until you upgrade to the
I
next
know.
major release, or pay an upgrade to get the next minor release, either way.
How much would that cost me to know?
Go to the website. That's what they told me I should have said yesterday.
thank you. Really, I should have said it. Because really, quite frankly, that's what I do. I go to the website when somebody calls me for a price. I'm on the website. I don't go anywhere else. And so it's a great way to get quotes and know whether what your costs are going to be. Not only that, you can play on the spot. In other words, you say, well, geez, that's too expensive. Maybe I should cut back my user run times, or I should cut back my development seats. And you can play with your own numbers until you get the number that you want.
What's your website written in?
This is filePro and PHP.
PHP, so HTML written in?
Yep.
Yeah. However, that's all going to change, because as soon as we have time, we're going to rewrite the entire interface so that it's in web. So when you log in, you're going to get a web login.
I'm using Bootstrap also.
Hey, Bill,
Yes.
so when you talk about the ranking and voting and when you're trying to make decisions as to what new features to put in it, a developer can vote on other developers' wish list items.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And that's how you would do, you might have multiple hits on a given wish list item on the basis.
Right. We get the information of, yeah, we might have one item pop up with a 5 ranking, which is the top level. So it's really important. But only one person voted on it. Okay? And then we've got another one that's 3, but we had 200 people vote on it. Well, we know which one we're going to look at. We're going to look at that 200 one.
And then there'll be 5 different ways people have wished for the same thing.
Right.
5, there's
That
50.
each get-
Okay, when we go through this and update it, when we've done a release, the next thing that we do is we go through the wish list and we mark off every one. I'm going to show you that. Go to the wish list again.
So the number of votes doesn't affect its ranking,
It does, yes.
but you said,
It doesn't, there's 2 fields. It's like an algorithm, so that it tells us where it fits in.
No, I get that. What I'm saying, what I'm asking is, if a product can, or excuse me, a wish list item can have a ranking of 5 and 1 vote, and another item can have 200 votes and a ranking of 3.
A bunch of people vote 5, a bunch of people vote 1.
You're not just voting yea or nay, you're voting numbers.
Yes.
My apologies. I
Yes,
didn't
it's,
realize.
yes.
Never voted. My apologies.
It's a ranking.
You're not registered?
What's that?
He's not.
So you didn't know you had a website?
I've downloaded the product and the licenses, so I must show.
This completed items. Once it's completed, go down. Then it tells you it's completed and it tells you what version it's in.
And the date it was available.
Okay?
If it were Microsoft, then you'd have to put the date they broke it again.
That's true.
It's usually the same day.
All right, also on your main menu, you have the wish list, the tutorials. Now, everybody gets access to the basic tutorials. We figured that John worked so hard on that, we should give it away for free. And so we do. It's also available from the support menu, which is the drop down. Now, if you've purchased the intermediate and the advanced tutorials,
Dear.
then at that point, you would have access to the intermediate and the advanced. If they're not clickable, you didn't buy them.
How about if you bought them from John?
If you bought them from John, they should be clickable, because we honored that purchase. If not, just let us know. This is the web.
This is web.
This is our website. Oh, the web version, yes, but that's going to be free. That's going to come with the product and also be available. It'll be there or under the support tab.
Bill, you should tell them that John's tutorial is a video that he
It's more of an application type tutorial, which is what John's is.
Yeah.
And we had to pay John for it, so
Very good.
you got to make a little bit of money someplace. But the other one is more of a product tutorial rather than a tutorial on how to program applications. So they're two different purposes. One's free, one's not.
The beginner's tutorial are free.
Yep, beginner's free. All right, now, we also gave you the ability to add users. You can add users to the support portion of filePro, or you can add it to the overall access of filePro. First one is support. When you go into support, you can list the available users. It tells you what your list is. You can edit them. So you can change all this information, update it, cancel, go back, whatever you want to do. You can delete it, but we don't need to do. We don't need to delete it.
Yeah, I put it.
Okay. All right. Once you've done that at that point, they don't have to know your master password, okay? Because you may not want them to know your master password, but you want somebody in your organization to be able to go in and work with support incidents so that they can get problems solved for either you or a customer. So it gives you the ability and control of who has access to your system and can do what.
That way, like in your situation, you may have a new employee, somebody, they can enter support incidents, their program. You don't want them
You don't want
going
to
in,
know
doing
what
quotes,
you,
your licenses, you can
Yeah.
separate that.
All right. This takes you to the support program, which we're going to do last. We're not going to do that right now. Ernie's going to take care of that one by himself. All right. Now, you also know that we have email addresses, and you might have more than one email address attached to your account because you have multiple employees and you want people to get the notices that we send out. You have both email address set up where you can look at the list of email addresses in our system list. And in this particular case, Ernie's the only one in his account. Somebody else might have 5, somebody else might have 20. We don't care how many you put in here. You can even add end user emails into your list so that you know that a particular good account is getting notifications from us so that they can call you up and say, hey, I just understand that a new product came out and I'd like to see it. You know, so it gives you the ability to control who gets information from us. We don't want to control whether your customer gets our emails or not. So you can do it yourself through this program.
So this is redundant, contact us, we just put it on there so you have everything in one place. You don't have to keep looking for stuff.
Now, by the same token, you might want somebody to have a little more access than just support, but not as much access as you as a manager has. So you can do a custom setup of people who have access to your account. And you do that through the customer user setup. And at this point, you can update your profile, or you can add in somebody to your account and give them a password and all that stuff. But at the bottom of the screen, you notice that you have some additional boxes that you can check. And these are the menu options that you see on the screen. And you tell us which ones you want this person to have. Somebody can only get to tutorials, or somebody can get to licenses and tutorials, but not to support setup. Or somebody can do support setup, but nothing else. It's up to you how you add these people in within your organization to work and communicate with us. We wanted you to be able to do it and not us. Any questions? All right, and then it's on to support.
Oh, boy. This is replacing emails somewhat.
When Ernie says it's replacing emails, it's not really replacing emails,
It's a different method.
all right? But what it is it's organizing your information between
That light in my
us.
eyes.
There's nothing worse for me than having to go through a ton of emails to try to find out what's going on. If you use the incident program that we've built, it keeps all the notes back and forth between you and us in one place, on one incident, for one issue, so that it makes it very, very easy for you to search, find out the latest status. Gee, I remember getting an answer on that, but I don't remember what it was. Now you can go back easily and find that and do it.
But Ernie's so
We're not
good,
gonna
we never
ignore
have to
your
worry about it.
emails.
Yeah.
All right? But your answer probably will come back through the incident program, and
Yeah.
that's the way you should communicate
Okay,
back
yeah.
and forth from that point on.
Bill, you should add an option for the bug reports to hear and support, because a lot of times people log into support and type in the subject line, bug, or possible bug. You should add that as an option here.
We haven't done anything with bug reports yet, but we think about it a lot.
Well, the problem, I would think, is you don't know, is it a bug? Is it my code? Is it I just don't understand how to do something? So, you know, here's what it's doing, and it's not the way I think. And then you'll tell me, if we can't figure out what the problem is, then it might be a bug report. I don't know that I could classify it as a bug report or not. What I could classify it as, that if you're adding any features, is I'm shut down and can't function at all, ranging from that to this is something I'd like to be able to do, but I don't have any urgency to it. And then that might prioritize things a little bit.
And I'll be honest, it doesn't matter what you tell me, if it's a bug report or just an incident, you're gonna get the same quick response. I'm not gonna look at bug reports any faster than I have a problem doing this.
And some things never really hit what we would call a bug report. We get an email, somebody's got a problem, we look at the problem. At that point, if we're stumped, Logan gets the problem, Logan fixes the problem, we get a new compile, the customer gets a new compile, it never hit a bug report, it was fixed. What it is it's in our bug fix list, not in a bug pending list. But we do have a bug pending list, I'm not saying we don't, we do. But
That's
they're
why-
not critical things, they're things that just sit there.
I don't think I have any open incidents. Oh,
Have them.
Nope. No, you don't have anything open. I haven't checked for a couple of days. It's very simple. You got required fields. Let's just go.
One of the required fields that will pop up is your license number.
Exactly. And that is crucial.
I don't know if they can see that.
Here's a weird question. Since you know my account number, because I already logged in, can we enter just the last, after the hyphen part, and maybe it would do a secondary search and find the,
It could, but I'm gonna wait for web, it's gonna be easier.
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we're not gonna redesign a lot of stuff on this application. So now I have an incident. I need help with an installation. And when you log in, you're gonna see your incidents. See what it is. Okay, that's it. I can view it. Okay, now I've sent you, I responded. I've gone in here from my office. You're gonna go back in, you're gonna see what I responded, what I suggest, or hey, have you tried this? Make sure you're on the last release, like 5.8, last one is .29, 60.07. Do that before you log an incident, because it may be, so like he said, you're not gonna see it on a bug list. It's not like, if we find a bug, it's fixed, we got a new compile, now we have a .08, and you never saw it as a bug. So make sure, that's why it's critical to make sure that last number matches our last release. And I can check download history by your license file to see if you downloaded it. That will expedite help.
Do you want me to like cry on this instead of email when I want to like have the license reset? And will I get the same quick response?
You'll get a quicker response, probably,
Okay.
because more of us will see it.
All right.
That's my next point. A lot of times, we're playing 20 questions back and forth trying to find out what have you done so I can eliminate what I need to ask you to do. So we need to document this. So and don't start a new incident every time you have a question. If it's related to this incident, keep it here. Because if I'm stumped and we just don't know what to do, we need to get Logan involved. Logan, can you check out this incident? He needs to see every step I've taken with you, or you've taken, I've asked, because I'm not spending 20 questions going back answering him, well, did they do this, did they do that? He's got it all in front of him. This makes it much easier than us trying to track separate emails and send me forward an email, 10 emails to him showing him what I did. It's all in one place. Make sense?
Yep.
There's really not much to this. It's very simple. It's just a matter of using it.
Do you have any, okay, show the notes
What do you mean notes?
on one of the older ones, one that's completed. Everything's just test, huh?
Yeah. Well, there's no over. And then, like, you know, once we resolve that incident is closed.
There's an attachment feature.
There is an attachment feature, and I need to probably take a better look at that. So I've had a few people say that they couldn't upload a file,
Ernie, go back, I'm gonna, well, don't go back yet.
but yet I got the file. So I think I have something wrong with my extensions and my exclusions on PHP.
Yeah, you can't upload a processing table.
Well, actually it did, but it told you it didn't. That's why I got checked. Yes, Bill?
All right, we get notified back at the office that he's added a new item. At that point, we're gonna go to that new item. And we're gonna review it, and we're gonna activate it.
Correct. It comes into a temporary file.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick look at it.
That's when you get an email that tells you the incident number that's been assigned to it, and we're gonna get back to you as soon as we can. That gives us notification on our end as well, and all the employees get it so that Ernie's not the only one answering your support questions. It could be anybody. And that's a good thing, because if you contact Ernie through support, he's the only one that's gonna see it. And nobody else is gonna help you answer any questions. So this is why the incident program is important to us, because that's the way to get to most people available to yourself to solve a problem. Now go ahead back into
Yeah,
the list.
and I've only been doing this since '86. These guys got way more experience than me.
Go back into the list, Ernie.
Do you guys get an email alert when a new incident's added to the database?
Yeah.
I get a new message alert, so I know that I got a new one, and then I get an alert that it's a response.
Now you can see
So
it's
so
not
now I
new
can
anymore.
sort. I get an email, but I still get an email to trigger for me to
You
go
don't have
look
to
at
go
the
check to
incident.
see if there's any.
No, I get an email notification that it's a new incident or it's a response to an existing
And
incident.
not only that, within our actual text-based interface at the office, when we're in the program, we get notification there too. So everybody gets a notification. Go back to the list. You can see here, there's now a control number assigned to this, because at the office, somebody's already accepted this.
Yeah, there's no control number on the one I just added because,
There is now, he just did it at the back of the room.
I did it.
oh, you did? Oh, okay, the close is, okay, we haven't closed it.
No, we have not closed it. And this is where you can actually download or upload a file to us if we ask for one, or if you think you need to send us one, so that we've got what we need in order to either duplicate or solve your problem. It will show you at the bottom of the window if you've uploaded anything, so you won't do it twice. Oh, gee, that file name's already there. I guess I did it. I forgot. And it'll list out every file. If you do more than one, you'll have multiple
Ernie,
listings.
will it let you upload a zip file?
I don't know if we turned that on yet. Zip file is probably the most common.
I think Zip and Pete, I forget. I'll have to check, Richard,
Yeah.
because I think that I've got an
Yeah,
issue
for
there
security reasons,
with
we
the
do have
extensions.
some extensions that we won't accept coming through, but
And if they're large files, we have an FTP server, you know, if I really need a
what
whole
we,
application to
what we
debug.
tell a lot of people, if you're gonna send us a zip file, either email or through this system, change the extension after you've created the zip file to ZZZ. We know what it is, you know what it is, but nobody else knows.
Any questions?
Question on the, where you are putting in what you want to buy, basically, and getting a quote. So, I'm on 5, whatever right now, and I'm putting in stuff. It's not adding the GI or the web.
you a quote, it's gonna be based on your
If you
existing.
have GI, it'll show you what version of GI you ran and give you the ability to upgrade it. But not on that license, you don't.
You can still add it.
Correct. Yeah,
can't
it's
add
gonna
it to that
default
screen.
to whatever the license is, you know, if you got a 5 development, 10 runtime, that's gonna be the default. Then you can go in and adjust the numbers, add products, how, like you said, you can custom build your quote.
You want to take one of my clients that's not up
There you go.
Pull it up on the right screen.
That's fine. I think everybody knows, at least know how to get to it. Another quick point that we did go over, and you don't have to log in for this. Our FAQ page. Check this before you add an incident. I try desperately to keep this updated if we find somebody that has an issue, especially if I get 2 calls with the same issue. It's going in the FAQ page. This one is a weird one because does anybody on a NIC system ever get a semaphore error? No.
Not anymore.
Not recently.
There's a script to fix it. Installation stuff. There's a lot of stuff in here that you don't need support for. It's already out there. Check that first before you log an incident.
Great.
Or if you have a suggestion for the FAQ, shoot me an email, I'll put it in there. Any other questions?